Hello everybody, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. So I had a request from one of my subscribers and supporters to check out this show, this TV show on MTV. And the show is called Sweet Vicious. Did some research on the show on the TV series. It's basically about a bunch of it's the show is very feminized. The guys are feminized. The women are just militant feminist. The TV show caters to obviously the demographic of women, college age women, and younger. And just TV show is just very gynocentric. And let me just break it down because I would go straight to the point, but y'all, I have to give you a foundation. And watching it basically is about a woman or just women, but particularly a woman who's a vigilante, or a group of women who are vigilantes that go after men who sexually assault and rape women. That they hear, not get all the facts, that they hear. Guys are very feminized, pussy whipped, dumb and stupid, gay. MTV has went downhill for the last 25 years. I remember MTV has always been racist, and particularly racist, but it's just gotten worse. And the thing is, MTV, I remember how because I used to watch the Real World series up until 2004. I stopped watching the Real World because it had the same stereotypical crap, I'm going to keep it real, mostly Caucasian kids. And you had some other people of color, other non-Caucasian folks, but that was like they were always the token. And they always, but the way MTV will always exploit, it portrayed the youth to be just dumb, stupid, reckless, abuse drugs, just basically sheep, don't have no direction, always fighting over dumb shit, being sexually immoral and reckless. And they were always, my mom was like kind of against me watching the Real World and Road Rules. I can understand that, but she exposed me to other bullshit I should have never been exposed to. But that's a whole different topic. Don't want to get into that. But my mom would try to deter me from watching certain things because she didn't want me to pick up certain habits. But from what I've seen from MTV over the last 25 years, I stopped watching MTV, I believe, in 2004. I stopped watching the Real World because it was bullshit. You got all you had was a bunch of Caucasian kids, young adults, post-adolescents who are very immature, reckless, dumb and stupid, fighting over dumb shit, being wild and crazy, sexually immoral, promoting fornication and substance abuse, drug abuse. Then the whole gay agenda, when they started showing gay people doing sex acts to each other and all that stuff, that's when I got turned off. And then people fighting over the pettiest shit, and then they would stereotype people of color, particularly, so-called black people, as militant, belligerent, or it's just this, the stereotypical angry so-called black woman. You got the angry so-called black man, or you used to get along, go along, step and fetch Negro, or you had the token Negro female that did the same thing. She was to go on and get on. Never talks about race. Then you had a bunch. Then you had the other segment of the stereotypical militant so-called black folks talking about how much they hate so-called whitey, and it's just one extreme to the next. And then when they get their paper, then when they get their when those so-called militant, see, what I learned is that they will portray these stereotypes of just the youth and then gays and women and certain stereotypes. And then you had the feminist. But speaking on people of color on behalf, when those so-called militant, so-called black folks that were the cast members on the Real World and Road Rules, the minute they got some fame and paper, they sold out and cooned. That's how I knew the bullshit was fake. But that's the reality TV aspect of that. But yeah, I actually thought about going on the Real World, but knowing what I know, I'm glad I didn't. Because my parents, because my mom, and my stepfather would say, "Why don't you go on the Real World since you watch it so much?" But the thing is, I probably was too level-headed, too aware of stuff, knew too much, and I was plus you gotta be so-called smart, but you gotta be smart, but you gotta be stupid at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you gotta be a sheep when you have a good grade point average, but you gotta be obedient, have academic and be obedience, not intelligence. Meaning is that you can't be conscious, you can't be aware of shit, you can't question things, you can't say anything about or question how the show should be operated, because you're working for them. They're not working for you. You gotta pander to a certain demographic or graphics to a group of people to watch the show. And I noticed that MTV has been catering to feminists. Men have been feminized, bitchized, and pussy whipped and stupid. More man bashing. And now they're promoting these gays, bisexual people, transgender people. And I think people who portray those roles are not really gay. I think some of them are straight, but they want to act gay for a check. And I think that's fucking disgusting to do that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's really, the stuff that those people do on the Real World, and even though on cast scripted shows, you have to be a certain stereotype. You gotta, and it's always negative, especially if you're a person of color. You gotta act a fool. You can't be an anti-feminist. You can't say, "Hey, I have family values, I got morals. I'm not gonna do certain things. You can't make me. I have class. I got integrity. I can't show people and wake up a certain group of people who are asleep to educate them on what's right and what's real and what's true. You can't speak truth to power on MTV. They'll just get rid of you. Plus, as a guy, you got to be feminized. You got to have no fucking balls, no testosterone, full of estrogen, no manhood, period. Or you just gotta be fucking gay. And that's what I don't like about this. And this show, Sweet Vicious, it just shows, it demonizes men. It's all feminist propaganda. It shows men, women have women beating up on men, grown men, portraying men to be stupid and dumb and weak. But we're sexual predators and rapists. And it don't show you, and it don't show from what I'm watching. I just watched the show one time. Now I'm one and done, and that was it. I will never watch that show again. Even if you paid me $1 billion to be rich as Donald Trump, you just couldn't pay me to watch that shit again for a fucking hour. I wasted an hour watching that shit. You know. And it just like I said, it portrays men to be stupid, dumb, barbaric, violent towards women, and rapist, you know, abuse. I mean, they always portray women to be being victims of abuse, victims of rape. But women can do whatever they want to do, dress how they want to dress, act how they want to act, talk how they want to talk how they want to talk to men, any old kind of way. Get drunk and wild and dumb and do dumb shit, and it's never the woman. The woman's never accountable. I'm not saying that if a woman that it's okay for a woman to be violated if she does dumb shit. I'm not justifying that. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not blaming the so-called victim. And I said so-called victim for a reason. But if women, let me say this. If you go out and get drunk and wild and crazy, and you put yourself in a compromised position, and where you are vulnerable to harm and danger, to where you could get taken advantage of and get taken advantage of sexually. I really don't have no sympathy for you bitches. Because a lot of y'all get drunk, wild out. I mean, I understand some people, I'm not going to front. Yeah, I like to wild out too myself. But I understand consequences and repercussions. I was the type of guy that, no, I had a life. I had to work. I had to be in school. I had responsibility. Plus, I was living on paycheck to paycheck. Plus, I had rough times in my life, rough family issues. Times I was homeless at one point. I went through a lot of shit, so I couldn't have time to enjoy my youth like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted to have sex and wild out and have fun. But the thing is, I understood consequences and repercussions for my actions. If I got drunk and stupid and wild and sexual with a woman, got wild and crazy, and she was drunk, then she can turn around and say I raped her when it was consensual sex because of the fact that she had buyer's remorse, buyer's regret. Because she found out, I gave up the pussy too soon, and this guy just scored on me, so, and I don't want the word to get out, so I'm going to yell rape. And a lot of Caucasian females do that shit. I gotta keep it real. Yeah, y'all the bitches do that shit too damn much. Y'all rape, cry. Y'all the biggest bitches who cry, rape all the goddamn time. I'm not saying women of other ethnicities don't do the same thing, but y'all do it way more than any other group of women, and then any ethnic group of women does. And I'll say it, y'all, mostly Caucasian females, y'all rape, cry, abuse, play victim, way more than women of other ethnicities do. Y'all the only group of women who do that more than anybody else, than any woman of any different, than any other woman. Y'all the only group of women who do that than women of other ethnicities do. That makes sense. So, but the thing is, back to the subject. I don't know where all of us are. I kind of go on these tangents. I don't mean to do that, but I watch this show, and it just shows women dressing up as ninjas, vigilantes, beating up on men who are accused of sexual assault and rape and sexual battery. They don't have no facts. They don't look into it. They don't ask questions. They just attack the guy and beat him up and to teach him a lesson. Or just kill him. And the problem I have with that is that they're just so one-sided. First of all, when somebody's accused of something, you need all the facts. You need proof. You need evidence. And it shows women can do whatever they want to do, be sexually immoral and reckless, get drunk and wild, or allow men to run sexual trains on them, run trains through them. Have these women allow these men to run a train through them, and then they regret it. Then they want to cry rape. Or you got women, young women, get my thoughts together. You got young women, particularly younger women, who have sex with guys, and then especially if they are high under the influence, or they don't have, they can be sober, or they're just horny, just fuck a guy, let a guy fuck them, but if he doesn't do it the way they like it, or after they do this, have sex after that man has sex with her, she has all of a sudden regrets it and feels guilty, and now feels dirty about it because maybe he was too rough with her, or maybe he got what he wanted, and he just didn't satisfy her. Now she's mad and regrets it, or the guy just dumps her. Now she wants to yell rape, and I got a problem with that. And I have nobody talks about false accusations, particularly false claims of abuse, particularly false claims of sexual abuse, false accusations of rape, and how dangerous that is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So or you got women who who like to turn men on, get them on horny, get men all sexually aroused, play with their sexual arousal, tease them, and then when the guy's inside them or about to do it, or particularly when the guys they're having sex, she wants to yell stop and all that crap, and the thing is that's really dangerous. When women should not be playing Russian roulette. You should decide if you want to do it or not. You can have this bullshit attitude. Well, I can say no anytime I want to. Actually, you really can't. You can't just assume that it's like this. Let's say it's like you drive in a car and you cut off a tractor 18-wheeler, a truck. You get in front of the car and you slam the brakes. Do you think that truck can stop you from hitting you in the fucking back? A lot of people, it's like if you in North Carolina, if you see truck accidents are very frequent in North Carolina, in the South, but particularly in North Carolina, because you got because trucks pass through North Carolina. So what happens is a lot of people think that with their cars they can get in front of the truck, and the truck is doing like 70 to 80 miles per hour. And they will suddenly slam the brakes and think the truck's gonna just stop on a dime and not hit them in the fucking back. And what actually ends up happening, the truck just bashes through them. That's what you women do. So what some of you women do when it comes to having sex with men. You would like to tease guys sexually and get them all turned on. Once then the guy is inside you and he's about to climax, then you want to yell stop, or you want to play with a man, entice him and all that stuff. Or be all naked and kissing on them and all that shit, but he can't touch you. You're naked, but you don't want him to do nothing to you. You just want him to look at you. Dumb shit like that. And I can't stand when women play those fucking games. Women don't do that. Y'all like to tease men, and we like to strip tease and prick tease men when it comes to sex, and that's dangerous. And just because you say no and stop, that doesn't mean he's gonna stop. You can't guarantee. You cannot dictate the consequences of how men respond to you sexually and how men are gonna react to you sexually. Especially when you're having sex with men, you can't dictate the consequences. Oh, if I say stop now, if you have an injury or some other shit like that, and that's totally different. But I'm talking about, you got females who purposely like to sexually entice men, get them all turned on, get them all horny, especially when they're under the influence, and then they're having sex, and then when the guy's about to come, and then you want to pull out, and you want him to stop on a dime, and then he stops, and he was rape. Now, my thing is that that's dangerous to do that. My thing is this. To guys, if a woman pulls that bullshit, you need to check her at the door and just fucking have her get the fuck out of your house, or just fucking leave her house, or place, or wherever you're doing it at, or get the fuck out of your fucking car, or get out of her car. Because if a woman's gonna do that shit, that's just wrong as hell. I mean, women, how would you feel if a man got you about to climax and he's fucking you, and how do you feel if men were to tease to you? How would you feel if men withhold sex from you? And I read constant reports of women losing it and daring to try to kill a man because she played with his emotion, because that guy played with her emotions and feelings. How would you women feel when you're having sex with a man that you really like and enjoy, and then you're about to climax, and then he says stop? Are you gonna stop? Think about it. Think about that. or let's just say he's masturbating you, or masturbating, and you're about to come, but you're about to squirt, but he stops, but you know you're about to climax, but he just takes his hand off and stops you, or he stops eating your pussy, or whatever the hell he's doing. How would you feel if he did that? You can say, well, he can say the same bullshit that child females do. Is that, well, I can stop anytime I want. Are you gonna be all happy and okay with that? Come on, just be real with me. Be real with me. Tell the truth. If you're a man inside you, and you're about to climax, and besides about to enjoy that sexual experience, and he just stops at a dime, but you want him to keep going, but he stops for whatever reason, how would you feel if you play with your sexual arousal, emotions, and feelings? I'm just saying, how would you feel? And a lot of you women do not like it. So don't do that shit to men. Either you're going to do it or not. Now, I understand certain cases where you might want to stop and all that stuff, but if it gets to the point where you're actually fucking, it's too damn late. Unless you came across, unless you got injured or you hurt, that's the only. It is an emergency that you just can't go through it. That's okay. That's totally different. But a lot of you women don't go through those kind of injuries. Some of you women who are injured would still like to perform, especially you're fucking a guy you like. All I'm saying is that it's wrong for you women to prick tease and strip tease men, play with their sexual arousal, because the no should have stopped when he kissed you, and when he French kissed you, made out with you, made out that, and that's the stop should have came there. The stop should have came when he took your shoes off. Before he took your shoes off, or took your clothes off. That's when the no should have came, and you know what I'm saying. The no and the stop should have came right then and there, before you got naked, before you got into it, got that deep into it. And not a lot of guys got that common sense to respect that bullshit. Some guys will be like, okay, but some guys will some guys will just ignore you and take advantage of people. And I have no sympathy, because unfortunately that you reap what you sow. I'm just gonna say it like that. Now, if a female try to pull that shit with me, she gotta get the fuck out of my house, and I ain't gonna talk to you no damn more. Yeah, I said it. No, don't tease. Don't be a tease like that. Don't tease men like that. That's dangerous, and you're putting yourself in danger. Some women have gotten killed. Now, it's bad enough that, y'all think that's cute and funny. That's not funny to me, because there are men who had pulled that bullshit, had female tendency, play that bullshit on women and killed the man. And y'all females and you feminists say, oh, that's justified. He shouldn't have done that. But if a man would have reacted that same way, and if you flip it the other way around, a man would have killed your ass for doing that, for playing with his emotions, feelings, and playing with his sexual arousal, and being a tease to him, and fucking with his mind like that. Then y'all be mad. You women and feminists would be fucking pissed, and gays. The moral of the story is treat people the way you want to be treated. But I'm sick and tired of these shows demonizing men to be immature, dumb, stupid, violent killers, abusers, rapists. I'm really sick and tired of seeing these shows like that on MTV, and then the MTV is promoting the gay agenda. And I have a problem with the show Sweet Vicious, where these vigilantes go out and beat up men because they feel that he took advantage of a woman, or he raped a woman. And the chances are he probably didn't rape a woman. The woman was playing games, or she could have just lied about. You got a lot of women who make false accusations of rape 9% of the time, and that's unfortunate. And you got women who actually are raped. They don't say nothing. But the thing is, the women who lie on men and lie to law enforcement, to lie to other people about them being sexually assaulted, being sexually abused, being raped. You're making it hard. You women who do that, who play that Russian roulette game into hurting a man and destroying a man's life because you didn't get your fucking way. What y'all doing is you're making it harder for real victims to come forward. And when a real victim comes forward, she should not, or he should not, have to go through the process of being credible. You know, you got women who fuck with other dudes and fuck with another dude, and they want to yell rape, and then you can't use that against her because, well, that's her. You shouldn't dig deep in her past. It's fucking irrelevant. It is relevant because you got women who are sexually irresponsible, reckless, and put themselves from harm's way, would whore themselves out to a group of guys to have threesomes and stuff. I don't know how a man can fuck a woman with another man next to them. I don't know how you can do that because I couldn't do that. But then she fucks some other dude. Now now she feels all dirty and stuff. Not because she don't want to get the word out, or she's with a guy that she sees in her mind as undesirable. Now she wants to yell rape, and her sexual past should be used against her if she's being a whore like that. Yeah, being a fucking slut, and then she fucks some other dude, and now she wants to yell rape all of a sudden. That society should question her and question her motives, because when men are accused of something, and if a man accuses anybody of something, and there's some dirt on our fucking past, is used against us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, society has no problem digging in a man's past, even though it may be fucking irrelevant. But if a woman's past, you got these rape shield laws that say you can't do that, and I mean, and that's bullshit. That's what I'm talking about, female privilege right there. But the show is just man bashing. I mean, I just couldn't want. I mean, the time I watched that for a whole fucking hour. It was nothing more than man bashing. You know, women just beating on men because they heard that he raped her, sexually assaulted her, so we got to beat him up. And you don't know the story. You don't know what happened, what he said, she said, what he did, and what she did, or what she did that led up to her being in that situation. You know, or just men abusing women. And I mean, a lot of times women, when it comes to men hitting women, you know, a lot of times women start the shit. A lot of women get in a man's face, talk shit, spit on a man, throw something at him, and then when the man reacts to it, oh, he's the bad guy. And when the fact of the matter is, I have no sympathy for women who put their hands on a fucking grown-ass man, and then they want to dictate the fucking consequences. Then when you hit a man, and then the man hits you back, he has the right to hit you back. You talk shit to a man and insult him and disrespect him, and start verbally abusing him, and using fighting words, and then he curses you out, or he hits you. I have no sympathy for y'all females who do that, who get their ass whooped for talking shit. If you're gonna talk shit, be ready to fight back. You better know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women initiate the violence, and the woman usually the ones who put their hands on the fucking man, and the man usually responds, but he goes to jail. Or the woman says something derogatory, says something insensitive, and the man snaps. People got emotions and feelings here. A lot of people say, well, those are just words. No. Those words can hurt. Certain things you just don't say. You don't make racial slurs. You don't say stuff, oh, you got a small dick, or attack a man's manhood, or call him a faggot. Because if it was in reverse, if a man calls a woman a bitch and a woman punches him in the face for saying that, oh, that's what he gets with a man. But a woman calls a man out of his name, and the man slaps the shit out of her, or says something derogatory to him, and he reacts, oh, we don't get a pass. We don't say, oh, those are just words. But if a woman says something insulting and derogatory and degrading to men, attacking this man, his sexuality, You know, other verbal abuse tactics that women do, racial slurs. Those are not words. Those are fighting words. That's gonna get your ass whooped. Now, if a man responds, but I've seen men who respond verbally, and you got these sissified pussy whip mangianas who want to beat the guy up. Oh, don't talk to me like that. Talk to me like that. And I'm like, what the hell? This bitch disrespected him. He's been standing up for himself, and y'all want to protect her, and you know damn well she's doing fucking wrong. Are you that desperate for some pussy? That's my response. Are you that damn desperate to be a Captain Saberhole? You know the bitch was out of pocket. He put her back in the pocket, and now it's a problem. Now you want to get involved, and them guys who do that should get shot and killed, and they deserve to die and get fucked up, and just like the bitch who started the fight deserves to get fucked up. But like I said, I'm sick and tired of people when it comes to verbal abuse. That is just as worse. It's worse than physical abuse. Saying derogatory things. I don't see guys saying, "Well, your pussy is too damn big, maybe because you're a fucking slut, or your pussy stank, or that's why I never eat your pussy." You don't see guys verbally attacking, verbally abusing, and berating women like that. And if a guy does, chances are he's gonna come across more confrontations with other people. But if a woman reacts and the guy calls her a bitch or a nasty or a cunt or nasty or other derogatory names, and she goes off at his ass, we don't say, "Well, those are just words and she should just get over it." But if a woman says derogatory shit to us men, we gotta get over it. I'm tired of these double standards. Of women, it's okay for women, it's not okay for men. And when nobody should insult nobody and say hateful ass shit, verbally abuse somebody, nor physically abuse. Nobody should verbally abuse somebody and verbally assault and insult them, let alone physically abuse them. That's wrong. Nobody should hit anybody at all. Nobody should hit nobody. People should keep their hands, spit, and feet and objects to themselves and watch what they fucking say to another person. Because people got emotions and feelings. Some people can have a tolerance and words don't faze me. Names don't faze me. But meanwhile, you got other segment of people, you say the wrong thing to them and insult them, they will beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sick and tired of watching. And then the MTV got another TV show empowering people to be transsexuals, transgender. So basically, have men wear dresses and makeup and shit and act like a fucking woman. And you got women wearing pants and growing a fucking beard and acting and getting their breasts removed and getting these muscles and shit and taking these steroids to be a fucking man. That's crazy. There's no such thing as a transgender. You cannot change your fucking sex. Once you're born a woman, you are a woman. Once you are born a man, you are born a man. And you will die whatever gender you were born biologically, if you were born a man, you will die a man. If you were born a woman, you would die a woman. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm just very disappointed of what I watched. I'm not shocked, but the MTV has gone way downhill. How would they feel if there was a show created by a man, written by a man, and we just went after women who made false accusations, who like to make false rape accusations, and we just beat the bitch up for lying on a man? Or women who play with a man's emotions and feelings, you know, or be a sexual tease and play with a man's sexual arousal, and went after chicks who did that shit, or went after women who denied men a dating and love and sex life, because she was rude and mean and nasty and disrespectful to a man for just saying hello to her. I mean, how would the world feel if we had a group of men who were vigilantes and beat up on women who made false rape accusations, false accusations of domestic abuse, false accusations of child molestation? How would the world feel? or women verbally abusing men and hitting men and beating, spitting on men, and then we get justice for that man and beat that bitch up, and it's, you know what I'm saying? How would the world feel about that? No, because I'm tired. I'm just so sick and tired of society with this gynocentrism and this feminization going on out here. You know, what I'm gonna say is that I'm sick and tired of the propaganda of men being demonized. Men betraying with the man bash, men betraying stupid, post-adolescent males, immature, sexual predators, rapists, pedophiles. But women are victims, and men are the victimizers, are the perpetrators. But you never see women doing. They don't never show women who are scam artists, who are habitual liars, who like to make false accusations, especially false accusations of rape and sexual assault. You don't see that. You got women who rape men too. Especially, you got women, grown-ass women sleeping with little boys, and nobody talks about that shit. Just look at female teachers sleeping with teenage boys. But the feminists will say, "Oh, he wanted it. Oh, he asked for it." I got a question to you, feminists and women. Now, if a teacher was a male teacher, and he fucked a underage girl, and we said, "Well, she liked it like that. She asked for it," all hell will break loose. Also, I'm going to say this: the double standards and the gender war has got to fucking stop. I'm tired of the man bashing. I'm tired of men being demonized. I'm tired of men being feminized, and being a heterosexual man in 2016 going on to 2017 is wrong. Having the XY chromosome, you're a bad person. And then they always show women being right, always in the right. Never, my thing is, if women are always in the right, then they wouldn't have the problems they fucking have created for themselves and fucking up society. You know what I mean? And I'm tired of the gay agenda of especially targeting to men, saying that it's okay for men to dress like women and act like women, and it's a fashion acceptable, and you women co-sign that shit, and then you bitch and complain and say we're all the real men, and then you call heterosexual men who don't agree with you, and they will check your ass for being out of pocket, and will stand up for themselves and have their own mind and don't agree with you, and they're not the men, they're not the males who like to go along and get along with women and tell y'all what you want to hear and lie to you and kiss your ass and put you on a fucking pedestal. But at the same time, we as real men treat you as a fucking equal and hold you accountable for what you do. But y'all call us gay, and if a man don't want to have nothing to do with a certain chick, he's gay, or he hates women, or some of that bullshit, or he's weak because he can't handle a strong woman, or he's intimidated by a woman's success, or because a woman's more assertive and aggressive. He's intimidated by a successful woman, which is not, when that's bullshit. Truth of the matter is, we don't have a problem with a woman being successful, making a lot of money. The problem is it's a fucking attitude. The problem is being narcissistic and being condescending, rude, disrespectful, mean, and ultra nasty, and being a fucking bitch. Being a matriarch, being a fucking feminist. And you know, feminists think they're intellectually superior to men, but they're stupid as hell. If y'all so intellectually superior, then y'all would invent something, y'all would create something. Everything that these feminists do, everything they touches turns to fucking shit. Feminism has destroyed families, family values, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up relationships. It's fucked up the dating scene for both women and men. But it's fucked up for y'all women because men are not putting up with your shit. If a man got his shit together and got a passport, he ain't gonna fuck with an American bitch. Okay? He's not gonna settle for some overweight, or ugly, scrawny, ugly chick, but particularly an overweight chick screaming woman, girl power. And then she's talking about rape issues and sexual abuse, and nobody wants to fuck her. But she always talk, and it kills me now. Women who are never, ever, no man who wants to fuck that chick. She's talking about rape, sexual violence, sexual violence. Women being victims of sexual violence, but she's never been raped. She's never been sexually assaulted. She's never been grabbed by the pussy. But she always talking about them issues. And no man on this earth wants to fuck her. And I think that's the reason why these bitches talk about rape and shit. Because deep down inside, these women are fantasizing about a man just coming after them and just ripping their clothes off and fucking them. And they want to be fucked. But they're so sexually frustrated and bitter and mad at men because no man wants to fuck with them because they're ugly and fat. Even if they're scrawny, but they're just ugly, particularly the fat chicks. But they want to talk about plus size and thick is in when they're fucking fat. Just no, a thick chick have some curves, but she ain't fat. Fat chicks are trying to claim the word thick and trying to say if a woman's like 300 pounds, she's fucking thick. No, you're not. Thick is when you're like 130 or 40 pounds, 130 to 50 pounds, but you still look good. You know what I'm saying? So when my thing is about, I know this video was long, but I'm gonna just say it like this: the only way we're gonna get rid of shows like this, if men stop watching them, because women, the stuff that you see on TV, the man bashing, and men being demonized as sexual predators, rapists, that's not fucking true. Most men ain't like that. And if there was a such thing as rape culture, then don't you think the military would have to step in and walk alongside of y'all? Don't you think you have to be like them? Don't you? If rape culture was a fucking fact, which really doesn't exist, then y'all women would not be dressing so provocative. Y'all would be dressing like the Muslim women out in the Middle East, covered the fuck up, and have on the only thing people see is your fucking eyes and fucking shoes. You cannot walk around in public nor be allowed to drive a fucking car. Only a man can drive a car, and only the time a woman can walk in public if she has a male relative or a brother walking alongside of her, or her fucking dad. Since rape culture does not exist, you're not going to see that. But I'll tell you one thing: there's false rape culture. Women making false accusations of rape has got to fucking stop, and it's getting out of fucking hand. But if you women want to feel like y'all want to keep your privilege and all that stuff, because feminism is not enough, and it's not about equality. It's nothing more than female supremacy, also known as white supremacy, Caucasian supremacy. Correction. That's all it is. Nothing more than the whole gender war is to keep men and women divided, and then you wonder why we have population reduction, and then you have the gay agenda that a lot of you women stupidly support. Then you talk about you can't find a real man, but you feminize men and say that men need to act like females, like you are so goddamn superior, and then your shit don't fucking stink. And how would you like if men said, well, you need to think more like a fucking man. You need to act like men. You don't hear men saying something that retarded. It's just utter fucking ridiculous. We need to act more like women to attract women. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm gonna be a fucking man. Fuck your comfort, women. If you hate heterosexual, you have no business complaining about you can't find a real heterosexual man if you hate heterosexual men. Maybe the reason why a lot of y'all women are single is because you're too damn picky. You got a false sense of entitlement. Nobody want to put up with your nasty ass, disrespectful attitude and disrespectful disposition towards men and your bitchy attitude. And then you want to use shaming language. Oh, you can't handle a strong woman. No, I can handle a strong woman. I can't handle a weak ass loudmouth, opinionated, stupid ass bitch of a woman who thinks she's the shit, who don't want to fucking listen, who wants to be argumentative and combative and disrespectful, and don't want to know her fucking place and stay in her fucking lane. Yeah, I said it. That's the issue. You know, I mean, a lot of you women don't want fucking equality. You want the benefits of being a fucking man when it counts, and you want the benefits of being a fucking woman. But when it comes to responsibility and accountability for either gender role, you take neither. You reject it. You want the benefits and pleasures in life, but you don't want the responsibility and accountability of life. You just want to do the one. You want the freedom and all power, but no fucking responsibility. Guess what? Them days are over. Fuck your comfort. And the fact that you want to tell men how they should act and how they should behave. How would you feel if men said, a collective group of men, or should I say all men said, women need to act more docile, sweet, loving, have a nice body, have be in shape, know how to fucking cook and serve a man, and give him sex when he fucking wants it. But that's considered misogynistic and oppressive. But you women, what y'all don't understand is that y'all work for a man, but you work for a man or corporation who don't give a fuck about you and sees you as a fucking slave and make money off of you and pay you fucking less. And the reason why they pay you less is because you don't have the fortitude or the qualified and have the skill sets to manage and run a company. Y'all take too many days off. Y'all want maternity leave. You want all these extra benefits. You want to work fewer hours but get paid more for doing nothing. You cannot have your cake and eat it too, y'all. I'm tired of women thinking that. Tired of women telling men how they gotta act and how they gotta behave to make them feel comfortable. I was saying, I'm tired of women telling men they gotta act like a female and do dumb shit like a female, but at the same time, when it comes to responsibility, we gotta be a fucking man. So you want a man when it benefits you, when it's convenient for you. So basically, you see us as a fucking slave, a fucking servant to cater to you and spoil your ass. You see us as walking dicks with a fucking wallet as an ATM machine. Well, guess what, bitches? Them days are over. Like I said, I'm tired of seeing TV shows like that with all they do is stir up propaganda, lies, and hatred and misandry towards men. All they do is it's nothing more than but a bunch of feminists writing this bullshit and stirring up hatred towards men and women. Particularly telling the world to hate men, and have men feel ashamed of themselves and hate themselves. And that's oppression, and that's actual oppression right there that men face. So what men can do is stop supporting gynocentrism. Don't support feminism. Do nothing. And boycott women who aren't on that dumb shit. Have standards. Be selective for who you deal with. And if women who are not feminists, who are against feminism and not on that bullshit and actually love men and actually want men to be men and have no problem staying in their fucking lane and will stay in her fucking place and let the man be the man, because you can't give a man permission to be himself. Call out this bullshit, women. Check out women who do this shit. When you got women lying on men, that could be your brother, that could be your dad, that could be your uncle, that could be your male relative, that could be your fucking son. Think about it. Check these bitches and call them out there on the fucking bullshit. When a woman lies on a man, especially making a false rape accusation against a man or any form of false accusations against men, she needs her ass whooped. She needs to be exposed, and you need to distance yourself away from her and disassociate yourself from that kind of low-life bitch. That's all I gotta say. If you were down for the good fight, women, if you're not like that, if you're a good woman and who truly loves men and respects masculinity, prove it. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Peace.